Hey guys, welcome back. So today I've got my cousin Demi now here with me, and we're gonna do a bridal Arabic smoky eye. Now I'm starting by applying moisturizer to her face and then going in with a layer of primer, and I've used the MAC Prep and Prime Skin Base Visage. And next, as a base for the eyeshadow, I'm using the Uemura gel liner in black. And I'm just placing this all over the mobile lid up to the crease and then blending it out into the crease and up, just slightly above her natural crease. And the eyeshadow I'm going to use over this base is a duochrome eyeshadow. It's Club eyeshadow by MAC, and on that black base it will come off as a greenish blue. And where it's just her skin, it's going to come off as a reddish brown. And I'm making sure to place enough of that black gel on just to make sure it's a really deep dark black on her lid. Now using this gel, I'm creating the shape that I want for the eyeshadow. I am making it winged, slightly cat eye, because that is the look that we're going for today. Using the same liner, I'm going to line her lower waterline and the upper waterline. And I'm doing this at this stage because if her eyes water, it's not going to ruin the makeup. Whereas if I do it later, it may ruin her foundation, concealer and all that good stuff. Now here I'm just placing Cork into the crease using a blending brush. This is an angled blending brush by MAC, I think it's 275. And all this is going to do is just blend out that black further, just to make sure that the whole look is seamless and there's no harsh edges. Now here I'm going in with the Club eyeshadow by MAC, and this is a beautiful duochrome shadow. Comes off as a greenish blue on the black base, and where there is no black and it's just on her natural skin, it will come off as a reddish brown. And I'm really packing this color on. I want it really intense, really opaque. And using the same club on a blending brush, I'm popping that in the crease. And so you can see here it's a brown where there's no black base underneath. And then to deepen the outer corners, I'm using the Black Diamond eyeshadow from Makeup Forever. And I'm just placing that in the outer corners, the outer V, where I've created the wing. Now as I place that black, I am going to blend it out with the same blending brush that I applied Club with into the crease. And I'll go back in a few times until I get the intensity that I want. And I'm using a pencil brush just so I can be quite precise in where I place that black. Next, taking Ricepaper by MAC on the same angled blending brush, which I've just wiped off on the tissue, I'm placing the highlight color onto her brow bone. So as always, I place the shadow first just under the arch of her brow and then blend it out and then inwards. Now here I'm just cleaning up any fallout and then going to do her liner, her upper lash line, and I'm creating the wing again but with a lot more gel liner so it's a lot more defined. And all I do is first place the wing where I want it, then do the liner along the lash line as you normally would, and then connect it to the wing. So you can see it in there. So I've just drawn the wing, and then I'm going to go in and connect it to the liner that I've already done off camera. I'm next going to work on her base, and I'm going to be using the Makeup Atelier Paris Stick Foundation. I'm going to take it in 3 shades, and this is the lightest shade that I'm using at the moment, and I'm just using that to highlight under her eye area and to conceal that area. She hasn't got any dark circles, so I don't need to go in with a corrective first. And then next I'm going to take the darkest shade and use that to contour around her face. So just down the sides of her nose, just to slim down her nose a bit, on the hollows of her cheek, just to carve out her cheekbones, and along her jawline, and slightly across her temples, just to round up her temples, round off her forehead. Now you could just place the foundation all over her skin, one that matches her skin tone, and then go in with a separate contour and a highlight. But I opted to do it this way. I am using full coverage product, so it will still look flawless, but it won't be as heavy as going in with a full coverage foundation and then the contour highlight on top. And then here I'm going in with a foundation that is her skin tone, and just placing it in all the areas that haven't got the dark or the light shade. And the brush I'm using here is the Real Techniques Pointed Foundation Brush. Now to help blend out all the 3 different colors of foundation together, I'm taking a little bit of the MAC Face and Body in the shade C5, which matches her skin tone, and taking that onto an Expert Face Brush by Real Techniques and just blending out the foundation that I placed earlier. And you can see with the Face and Body, it all blends in really well and blends in really easily. And this will just add a final layer of coverage. But then the Face and Body is a really lightweight foundation, just slightly more pigmented than a tinted moisturizer, so it's not going to add a lot more to the look, but it will add that final touch to it. And then to set all the areas of her face, I'm first going in with a dark powder to set the contours, and I'm using the Mineralise Skinfinish in dark. And I'm just placing that along the areas that I use that dark foundation. To set the under eye area, I'm going to use the Mineralise Skinfinish in medium, and I'm going to first remove any creases that may have come up from the foundation before I set it, because once I set it, if there's any creasing, I'll be setting the creases with it. And I'm using this on all the points that I want to highlight, so under her eyes, down her nose, on her forehead, on her chin, and on her cupid's bow as well. Now the foundation I've used is a cream foundation, so it will crease if I don't set it, so I do need to set the whole face properly. Now on all the areas that I haven't yet put powder, I'm applying the Mineralise Skinfinish in dark golden, and this will also blend in the dark and light powders as well. Next, to highlight her face, I'm using the Merry Luminiser by Balm, and I'm first going to apply the product using my finger, and then I'm going to blend it out with a fluffy blending brush. And I actually like the way this applies. So when I use my fingers and then use a brush, I find that it sinks into the skin better. And I'm going to highlight the high point of her face, so that's on her cheekbones, down her nose, on her forehead, cupid's bow and her chin. Now she doesn't have oily skin, and so I'm okay to use this highlighter, but had she had oily skin, I would not have used it because it would have made her look a lot more greasy. And then to add to the contours, I'm using Harmony Blush from MAC, and it's just going to deepen up the contours slightly. And then for her blush, I'm using Coppertone by MAC, which is a matte blush, and it's a peachy brown shade, so it looks very natural on her. And then for a pop of color, I'm using Inglot Blush in shade 122, I want to say, but I'll have that in the description bar below, just in case I'm wrong. And then to set I can't talk today. To set the gel liner in her waterline, I'm using Corrupt eyeshadow from Makeup Geek, which is just a matte black eyeshadow. And then I'm just placing that along the waterline just to set that liner. And I'm just using a flat shaded brush just to blend it out a little bit. And then using a pencil brush, I've applied Club eyeshadow onto her lower lash line. And then I'm just deepening up the lash line, the liner along her lash line, and I've created a wing in the inner corner. And then just to accentuate that wing, I'm going in with Ricepaper again by MAC just to highlight that inner corner. And I'm highlighting around that wing just to give it a definite point. And here I'm creating a double wing, so just following her lower lash line and creating a line parallel to the upper wing. And I'm just going to use my finger there just to sharpen up that liner. And then to fill in that gap between the upper and the lower wing, I'm using Ricepaper again by MAC on a really thin angle brush by Real Techniques. Now we tried on a couple of lipsticks off camera and we settled with this combination, which is a Revlon lipstick in the shade Standout, and it's just a matte red and topped up with a nudish pink gloss by MAC, and I can't remember the name, but I'll list it in the description bar below. I then curled her lashes and applied a coat of mascara, and now I'm going in with some false lashes, and I'm using the Ardell Demi Wispies. And then just to cover up any visible glue, and although it's meant to dry to a transparent finish, sometimes you can still see the glue. So I just go over the lash band with some gel liner. And with that, that's the look complete. I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. This is a heavy look. It is definitely a glam bridal look, but you could wear this for a special occasion if you wanted to. But let me know what you think. Leave your comments in the description bar below. Make sure you subscribe, and I will see you all very soon. Bye!